Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best, teach a system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. Yeah. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Welcome to the Party Pals, GRC Mafia. Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. We're going to go ahead and steal that from Professor Black Ops. And then right out of the gate here, we are here to break down barriers, foster collaboration and community, working towards a more secure future for everybody. Definitely a learning and growing environment. If you guys have questions, resources you want to share or otherwise, definitely drop that throughout the chat. This is our open stage, open discussion for the month. So typically every single month, Thursday is our primary sessions. The first 2 weeks, we typically have some type of speakers on particular topics. Then we have our open discussions. And then the last Thursday of every single month, we have our job readiness and group resume review. One of the best places to catch us outside of these streams, but then also if you guys want to share any links, your social media and so forth, one of the best places to do that is inside of our Discord server. So if you hop into our Discord server, you could head on over to our live chat channel. You could post your links and resources there. And then also you're more than welcome and encouraged to drop your social media and connect with the rest of the community as well. Let's see here. And then also with this being the open stage, I did drop the link already. You guys are more than welcome to come up here on stage, or you guys can hang out and chat. That's perfectly fine as well. Just feel free to ask questions, share resources and so forth. Either end. If you do come up here on stage, you do not have to turn on your video. You could run microphone only if you prefer to. Just don't share anything you don't want to be public. If you happen to do so, reach out to me on Discord or contact@studygrc.org. And then I see Rhonda popping in, Rania. We got AB popping in. We got Jeffrey Johnson. Let's see here. We got Cam, Rothnir, bam, GRC Mafia. And also we have our badge as well. So Thursdays being our primary sessions, we also have the GRC Mafia badge that you can collect every single week. What we did start doing recently, this is now week 8 now, I believe, on you can go through and get like week 1, week 2, week 3 consecutively and start building that up. We haven't set any like rewards for that or otherwise yet. But I think that's a really cool thing that we have implemented in the Discord server as well. So I did drop the instructions for that. You just go to our live chat channel during our streams, and then you put in GRC Mafia in capital letters, and the bot will respond with a checkmark emoji. Let's see. And that also unlocks a Badge Hunters channel and so forth as well. Let me double check chat here real quick. But how's everybody's week going? Let's go. Let's see. And yeah, we try to change up the music from time to time and so forth, but I do need to pick out some other music for the intros. If you guys have any recommendations, definitely drop those in Discord as well. As long as it's like not copyrighted or at least they give the rights to allow it. You know, that's what we look for. That's the song that was just playing a second ago is free use. one. Oh, one. I see. Rania. And then here in just a moment, I'm going to go ahead and transition over. We are not taking any paid sponsorships. If we can stay independent, we definitely prefer to do so. But what we're doing instead now is we're just trying to get ad rolls and bring light to some of the other awesome creators that are out there in the space as well. But yeah, I'll be right back here in just a moment. And I'll drop that link for the stage again.
Do you love cybersecurity and GRC? Do you like analogies stretched further than my hairline? Then do I have a channel for you. Hi, my name is Cameron, also known as Cam, and I want to invite you to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel at CamGoddess, where I dive into various topics, frameworks, terms, and foundational knowledge within the broad categories of cybersecurity and GRC. I'm passionate about these things and about taking complex concepts and making them more easily understandable, more easily defined. Everyone is a nerd about something, so come, nerd, learn, and grow with me.
Oh, come on, Restream. It should auto swap there. Cam mentions the fact of me not wearing a hat. You should look back to some of the early videos that we have on the channel. Not only is it awesome to see, like, go back and review some of the original content, but yeah, it just depends. So usually I have the sides completely shaven as well. Let's see. We're starting to go into winter now, so I don't know. Well, we actually have the heater running now. Let's see here. I'm just trying to catch up with chat again, but yeah, definitely grab that GRC Mafia badge as well. Yeah, Cam went above and beyond with that entirely. Oh, come on. Nope. Okay, there we go. Oh, geez. Yeah, and then Rania over here is still coughing up a lung, still sick. Welcome to the party, pal, Regine. Yes, actually, my hair is braided. So it might not be too visible in the light, but yeah. My wife goes through and braids it for me. I'm not that great at it. Yeah, it's like in the 40s or so. The main reason why we have the heater on is just because of the small animals. So it's got to stay above like 65 degrees or they die. So yeah. Let's see. But yeah, what's everybody up to this week? Any interesting finds? What are you guys working on? Do you guys have any particular topics that you guys want to talk about or otherwise? Absolute worst case scenario, I was going to go ahead and swap over to the 853. There was a very minor update. August 27th, they released 5.2 and just a couple modifications and so forth. Nothing too major whatsoever. But that's one thing that we can go through and take a look at. And then we could also take a look at some of the different publications as well. I think one of the updates on the privacy framework too. Still roasting in South Carolina. Yeah. Well, and I think so. I think the high today was 54 degrees. And then at night, it's starting to get down to like 35 degrees. So it's not too bad yet. I mean, like our winters, like by like January is the worst, and by January, like we'll be in -20 and below. So winter is definitely coming. Jesus. 94 degrees in Texas? Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, not doing that, that's for sure. Let me pull this up. Share screen. Bam. There we go. Yeah, and so if anybody does want to come up, you're more than welcome to. Also, I wanted to shout out PBO as well. Professor Black Ops, I just dropped the link in chat there. I'm sure you guys are well aware about him, but, you know, huge DoD background, 853 SME, subject matter expert. And, you know, he's been around since the very beginning of Study GRC itself and has really been a huge mentor of mine and constantly helping the community and so forth. I saw him like spamming messages earlier. The Discord server even tried to censor him. because of it. But yeah, definitely check out his content as well. He did change his streaming times to Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time now. Yeah, there's a whole gigantic debate about, whether you prefer it hot or you prefer it cold. I was born and raised in Arizona. I've definitely experienced the heat before. And yeah, I've been up here for 5 or 6 years. And I definitely prefer it. Let's see here. All right. Oh yeah, good luck with that, Rhonda. Yeah, I don't think Texas really cools down that much. But so one of the different things that I did have to share here is just 853. It's like the godfather of them all. And they did do this minor update. So I'll drop the link. This is the main page for the 53. They did shortly after the R5 dropped, they did drop a 5.1 release, or I think it was like 5.01, which was a very minor altercation change there where they like dropped the prepended zeros on there or something very minor. Now they're just adding some control enhancement and so forth. I can go through and open up the spreadsheet that they have. They also have the spreadsheet that's also listed below here of like potential changes that we could expect to see in the future as well. One of the I'm not too sure because like I was looking at the document earlier to see what it said, and typically like if NIST is looking for comments, they'll say, hey, this is our proposed changes, email us at this address to submit any feedback, or if you think we missed something or something else is wrong or whatever. And I don't believe that was actually in that at all. Let me see here. So yeah, list of all changes in the patch release is available under supplemental material. Also, one of the cool things with NIST is they also have this page here. And so this page, you can go through and take a look at each one of the controls. But like if we're looking at awareness and training, we could pop open one of these. And then if we pop open the controls, we have it right here too. So if there's a particular control we're working with, we can not only pop this open and read the actual statements and discussions and everything as well, but then also we can easily find the 53A assessment procedures directly related to it too. And it's all in one spot. I think this is a really good resource. I did go through and make a Trello board for the 53, but I find this to be very quick. And you could also search it too. So like if I go all the way back to this, then we can just search for, access control or whatever we're doing. And then we could even export this out as well. I have noticed this is a little bit slow, but this is still a pretty good resource. And I think that one of the big things about the 53 that I like is the fact that with it being like the grandfather of them all, I think it's just really good practice to go through and try to interpret the controls and look at the 53A on what they're actually asking and examples. If this even loads here. Let's see here. Yeah, let me grab the link for that real quick. So on our resources page, I'll actually just go ahead and show it here in just a second. So I just dropped a link for the resources page, but over on this page here, this is our resources page, and there's multiple different frameworks and regulations and so forth down here. And we if you guys have any recommendations, if you guys have other resources that aren't on here or any feedback to this, definitely go through and submit the form over here at the top, and that will allow you to submit a resource or a correction or otherwise. But under the 53, we have our NIST, our 53 Trello board. And that's this page here that's loading up. And we have the Trello boards for the CIS version 8.1. We have it for the 171, the NIST CSF as well. All of those different NIST related. Yeah, the 171, CIS. I think there was one for PCI as well. But I'll drop the link to this in chat directly as well. And one of the biggest advantages of the Trello board is, like, especially for the 53. So this is the 53R5, and we also have the baselines in here. So not only can you go through and search the text on Trello, because this has the control statements, but then also you can go through and filter the cards by the baselines. And, you know, I just find that to be really easy because the 53 is so massive, and it's a little less overwhelming when you could filter it by like low baseline, and you're like, oh, okay, 149 controls. That's not as bad. And then also another big thing with the 53 is they have all of these ones that are withdrawn on the very far right. One of the things I did want to do with this is go through, and there's a bunch of them where, like, if we pop one of these open, you'll see it. Let me pop one open. So with all of these, you'll see that it mentions related controls. I'd love to go through and actually link them all together. I think it would just make it a lot easier to work with. But that's pretty time consuming, so that hasn't been completed yet. Let's see. All right, let me double check chat here. Really, AV? You too? You'd prefer to burn than freeze? Ranya's asking what area. North Texas gets cooler. I mean, Texas is a massive state. The quick link for the procedures. Are you talking about the resources there, Cam? That you love the link for the resources page? You might have been talking about the NIST as well. The NIST page is, I mean, of course, amazing. I love NIST. And I'm going to go back to that as well. Let's see here. Or maybe I won't go back to it. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Here, I'll just pull it up here. Bam, there we go. And yeah, here in a moment, maybe we'll open up the spreadsheet for that. But yeah, this page here for the catalog, the referencing tool for the 53 is really nice. And I think that might have been what you may have been mentioning, is that it includes everything in here. And then I think I'm going to take that. I'll just go back to our home page because that's not in dark mode. Let's see. I have not heard of them, AB. Welcome to the party, pal, Luke. Yeah, and Luke Canfield, Luke C3, he will be talking at Wild West Hacking Fest next month. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, I see, Cam. I see. I mean, hell, for all I knew, you were just, shouting yourself out for the 53 resources too. So like Cam's ad roll, that's what we did a moment ago. And he also went through and talked all about the different family groups and stuff about NIST, the 53 as well. Yeah, and I appreciate your attendance too, AB. I mean, we are literally community built, community driven. So, we are much better united. That's what it's all about, is just going through and giving each other our time and being available to help each other out. Everybody comes from different backgrounds and experiences and so forth. And that's what makes it a lot easier when we, unite in some community group and just make it easier for everybody else. Like the discussions we've had recently about like the trust centers, and there was a discussion about SOC 2 and so forth. And it makes it way easier. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Luke's going to absolutely kill it. Yeah, and then also Luke's got another one lined up for secure WV. And then also Simply CyberCon too, which I think Simply CyberCon's like the first week of November in Charleston. So he's got like 3 of them back to back. Cam says, I'm trying to invite myself to give a talk on very basic security awareness at a local chapter of Commerce. What are good, broad, inch deep, yard wide topics that would be good for initial conversation? Yeah, and Luke's thing is, West Virginia. Okay, I see. Yeah, 3 out of 4 weekends in a row. Luke's gonna be traveling on the road. Honestly, I think that could be a little bit more difficult because you want to, I guess, just run with some of the different best practices. So you want to invite yourself to give a talk on very basic security awareness. I think one of the things you should really focus on is resources. So I wouldn't assume that the crowd would be very familiar and would probably doze off to security per se. But there's a lot of different state resources and small business, especially for the Chamber of Commerce. You can go through and provide like small business resources. Like CISA has some resources, there's state websites and so forth that have resources, and also go through and I probably right off the bat, I would position the why on, why they should even be paying attention to whatever the hell you're saying. That would be my advice. What about you guys in chat? What are your guys' takes on this question up here from Cam? I would definitely position like you guys should care about this because, over $6 billion are lost in our state because of cybersecurity breaches or whatever. A lot of small businesses go broke and shut down because they get breached. It's not when, it's not if, but when. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then Luke's mentioning that he lives on the road because of cows and jury duty. Let's see here. But yeah, that would be my feedback to that question personally. Rania says passwords and passphrases, why 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and pet names aren't safe, and how to make memorable but strong passphrases. Yeah, and you could weed in like MFA with that as well. Explain why that matters, and also how that could be a positive, So there was also a resource related to that as well. Let me pull this up here. Oh wow, that was really loud on my end. So one of the different people that I follow, I'm going to swap over to this and pull this back up. Oh, there we are. So this is one of the different people I personally follow. I think, the content's pretty great. I think some of the different material might be a little out there, but he does provide resources, citing articles and information and so forth throughout. One of the different videos that he did recently was how weak passwords beat strong passwords. And so this is a 12-minute video, and he basically goes through and talks about like how what most websites do is they don't technically store your password, they salt it, and then when you go to sign in, they do the exact same thing to compare and see if that's the correct one or not. And so hopefully they salt it, I should say. But that's what hackers get. And then I think it's called rainbow tables is what hackers could use on a database. If you guys are unfamiliar with like the rainbow tables, I think that's a really good topic. There's like a lab that's on like TryHackMe that I really liked in regards to that. And yeah, he basically goes through and talks about how in some cases that the longer, stronger passwords may actually be weaker than a lower character count password, because it does fall off eventually on its effectiveness, mathematically speaking. And like he provides links and stuff and so forth in his videos too. I'll drop this in chat though. Not that you shouldn't have like strong passwords and all. Like what really irritates me is like even recently I went through my accounts like 2 months ago. I went from over 200 accounts and knocked it down to like less than 100. And like there were a couple websites where they're like, oh, you can't have more than 14 character password, or you can't have more than 16 character password. And I'm like, why? Why is that even a thing these days? Yeah, and maybe like B-Dubs could explain the mathematical portion of it. I mean, she's the one who's like gung-ho on math. Yeah, and yeah, Luke, I don't pity you whatsoever. I would not want to be trying to fix up fences on 35 acres with 2,000-pound creatures ramming themselves into it. Did I miss something here? Yeah, passwords and passphrases. Yeah, I think it's a really good mention, Rhonda. Yeah, and I'm sure Luke can drop the link to it as well for Secure West Virginia as well. Because I think you're right in the same area too, AB, right? Make it a group activity. Do a GRC Mafia meetup at the con. But yeah, I think this is a good resource. And then let me go back to the NIST page here. Let me see here. Yeah, and before I swap back over to the NIST page, like our resources page, I really tried to go through and add a bunch of useful things in here. It could definitely be further expanded though. There is stuff that I did leave out, but just because it was more of a duplicate. So like there might be something that's really similar to, like for CSF, controls or something like that. And then it just doesn't really make that much sense to include multiple. And then it just gets messy. Some of these, I think, don't have very many. Like there was also, I think, a recent update with FedRAMP 2, if I remember correctly. So so this is the FedRAMP website. And I pulled this up recently for some reason. And I think that they are doing some updates to FedRAMP as well. Which my basic understanding of FedRAMP is that that's like the 53 for the cloud. Standardized, reusable approach to security assessments and authorization for cloud service offerings. Right there in gigantic letters. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to go back to our 53 page. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up this spreadsheet here, and I'll swap over to that in just a second. And then it tried to mute me there. All right. Yeah, and what resources do you guys have? Did you guys have any other questions or anything else that you guys want to include? I did drop the stage link again if anybody else would like to come up. You're not, forced to or otherwise, but you're more than welcome to. And I'm going to go ahead and share this other screen here for the suggested changes to the 53, just to kind of look it over a little bit. I don't think there's really that many changes, and it's more of a summary than anything else. I like the fact that they're going through and doing these updates, though. From what I've seen with the history of the revisions with the 53, it seems like after they pushed a major update, they didn't really provide continual changes or modifications to that. And so since the 53 was R5 was released, there's been 2 different updates to it. So, I think that's a really good benefit there. This is probably not going to look real clean, but at least it'll work. And it's because I have this open up in LibreOffice here. Oh, wow. 296 miles? That's a little bit of a drive. That's like my biggest issue is I live in rural North Dakota. There's not very much out here, so I have to fly or drive to everything. I had joined one of the ISC2 chapters actually a couple years back, and one of the biggest downsides is that the closest chapter to me is down in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And, that's like a 6-hour drive time. There's no way I'm going to be able to meet on a monthly basis 6 hours away. New to me. For me, it's been about untangling AWIA, the mundane, from AWWA, the guidance, and then mapping it to NIST. Definitely a learning curve in the water and SCADA space. Yeah, and also, Rhonda, how's the new position working out? Barcelona? I thought people went to Barcelona for vacation, Jasmine. Jeez. That sounds pretty cool. Oh, come on, AB. Don't put yourself through that. Yeah, and so I'm going to try to keep this as clean as possible here, but so these are some of the different proposed changes here, and for their supplemental, which it doesn't look like they updated the dates on the top here, but they have dates identified down here. And so we can see page 110 in paragraph 2 of the acknowledgements, they mention a misspelling and that it should be updated. And then also, it mentions here, it's saying release 5.1.1, which was November of 23. Adding leading zeros to all controls and control enhancements to support better usability of the controls. I think that's what it was. Yeah, so in that minor update, they pushed the R5 and then they added the prepending zeros to it. So like AC-2 changed into AC-02 for clarity, which is very, very minor. Like it doesn't even seem like many people are even following the R5 at this point. PBO will probably pop in and talk about that portion of it. And then also they list a ton of controls over here. And then they're talking about for linking the organization defined parameters, the 53, 53A, update the section operation description. All right, so then updates to the descriptions, clarifying language in AC-24. So like one of the changes to AC-24, which was in October of 23, was to establish procedures, implement mechanisms, to establish procedures, implement mechanisms. What? Am I not? Am I not reading that correctly? Oh, procedures and mechanisms. Wow, I don't know. Alrighty then. Grammar errors, clarifications. But yeah, this just has some of the different summary of some of the changes. And this is what you're supposed to run off of, it looks like. Because they haven't actually implemented, like if you download the PDF, they haven't actually added these changes to the primary document. Which honestly, I find a little irritating. Because then you have to go through and look at the summary of changes and then make those modifications manually if you care to do so. Yeah, am I not reading that correctly or what? I'll go back up to it. Maybe I just didn't see it right, but yeah, the highlighted field right there. Establish procedures to implement mechanisms. Yeah, I don't understand NIST. I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, and let me rip that down here. Yeah, that's awesome to hear too, Rhonda. A new environment. Yeah, especially coming from the federal government space into a private sector, I could definitely imagine. Definitely a little bit of a different mindset. Let's see here. Oh, PBO did pop in here. Yeah, so PBO, I was just talking a little bit about some of these different summary changes to the 53. And, I just found it kind of interesting. So, and also voicing my frustration that it doesn't get thrown into the primary document. Like if they're going to put out a changes, why don't they add that to the primary document and just do an update to it, make it a little bit easier so people don't have to manually go through. But I guess that also would be because, like, why would they? Like, I don't think it would be a requirement because all of the controls are the same. They're just changing around the language and adding zeros to the control numbers. So I don't see anything like they're doing a lot of clarification and grammar updates. So it wouldn't be a make or break per se. They did add controls though. As a result of adding a new control and control enhancements, updates related to controls to reference IA 13, which I think is internal audit, is needed. So add IA 13 as related controls. $296 miles is a Tuesday morning for Luke. Yeah, no. So like the closest major city to me is I think about 75 miles each way. And that's like the furthest I will drive. Like, yeah, I don't like driving too much. And then what, Bismarck? I don't know how many miles Bismarck is, but it's like a 3.5 hour drive. I typically don't go based on miles. I typically just say based on time, which changes with the weather. Only a 2-hour flight from Barcelona. Nice. Yeah, and Luke's been working on his talk for a while now. Like, I think one of the biggest downsides to it is that he does have like a restricted time slot. Because I'm sure like Luke could make an entire like 9-hour talk all about it. So, what was the name of your talk, Luke? Let's see. Yeah, and then heading home in an Uber from Falcon. Yeah, thanks for hopping in, GRC Mafia. Definitely don't forget to grab you guys' badges too. I'll drop that in chat again for the instructions. You go to the Discord live chat channel and drop GRC Mafia in capital letters. It unlocks a Badge Hunters channel, and then also you get badges for it as well. Let's see. I've never even heard of Falcon. Cam's sharing a quote. The difference between the US and the UK is that the US thinks 100 years is old and the UK thinks 100 miles is far. Oh. Oh, and then Luke got tools stolen out of his truck too. Jesus. And then his talk is the drone run. The attack service now includes the sky. Bam. Yeah, I don't think people really realize the whole thing from drones at this current point in time. Like anybody can go off and buy a drone, and there is so much you could do with that. Welcome to the party, pal, Space Tacos. Also, that's another really great drop too, is Space Tacos has her own Discord server as well. The GRC Audit Treasure Trove. It's not like a typical Discord server, but what it is it's an entire archive of resources. And so it's all categorized into different topics. And one of the biggest things that I've seen and what a lot of people will use it for is if you guys are looking for something in particular, you want to dig into a particular topic, or like there's job hunting advice and links and so forth in there as well. And you can go in there and just search for a keyword and be like, oh, SOC 2 or ISO, and then just look at all of the different results that you find. Or, I mean, it is a great alternative to like doom scrolling as well. So those links are also dropping in chat there as well to join the GRC Audit Treasure Trove. Yeah, I think we forgive you, B-Dubs. So B-Dubs is not here tonight. It looks like she's cheating here. But her excuse is for being at GRC Day. So I think we can all, agree that that is acceptable behavior. I'm not going to be upset if you guys don't attend, because you guys are attending GRC Day of all things. If anything, I'm a little jealous of that, but I wish we had stuff like that up here. Oh, Renaissance. I see. Reconnaissance. Jesus. Let's see. Oh, 8,000 attendees from more than 65 countries. Nice. Yeah, and yeah, the drone, I think Luke has gone way off the deep end into that entire realm of drones from every perspective. I definitely see it as a massive, I think it's going to be implemented into even the Sec Plus and so forth, with drones being much more known as a threat than they are now. Oh, come on, Space Tacos. You did do it. Yeah, the GRC Audit Treasure Trove is absolutely amazing. There is tons of information in there. It's been well over 2 years now that Space Tacos has been going through and developing that server. And you can't chat in there, really. But like I was saying, it's really just an entire archive of information. Yeah, I do look forward to Luke's talk. Unfortunately, it is a shorter time slot, but yeah, I would love to see a full form discussion on it. I mean, he presented a little bit about it before, and I think one of the cool, really awesome slides. He's done a very good job at refining his slide decks. Let me see here. But yeah, so PBO, I see that you're in chat now. Are you able to answer that on why they would go through? Like, it doesn't seem like they did minor updates very often in the past for the 53, but why would they not just add that to the primary document and update it? Like, they've now done 2 minor updates, including adding controls, and they're not updating the primary document from, you know, R5 to R5.2, or at least they haven't done so yet. Yeah, that's a good way to put it too, Space Tacos, that the GRC audit treasure trove is no talk, research only mode. Oh, that does clear it up a little bit too, by the way, Mary. Yeah, because yeah, seeing people in Discord and then also in the YouTube end. Yeah. But yeah, did you guys have anything else in particular or otherwise? I mean, worst case scenario, I'll pull up the NIST drafts or otherwise, and we can go through something there. Let me also check PBOs. I doubt PBO has a topic for next week yet, but PBO is streaming every single Tuesday night. And not only that, but like he's already got 835 videos now. So just some of the last ones that he's gone through was configuration management yesterday or 2 days ago. And then before that was secure software development practices for generative AI, NIST AI, MIOps. I don't even know. I have no idea what the hell that even means. I guess I should watch that video from PBO. Let me swap over to this page here. So PBO went through and did this video here like a week ago, a couple weeks ago, for AI MIOps, or maybe it's MLOps. Building machines that could perform human-like cognitive tasks such as learning, problem solving, and perception by learning from data rather than explicit programming. So more like agentic AI topics. Is it machine learning operations? Is that what that's supposed to mean? I'm gonna Google it here. Where's PBO when you need him? Yeah, machine learning operations. So he was talking about the AWS aspect here too, and they have a page here. So machine learning operations, MLOps, are a set of practices that automate and simplify machine learning workflows and deployments. Machine learning and artificial intelligence are core capabilities that can implement to solve complex real-world problems and deliver value to your customers. So ML Ops is a ML, machine learning culture and practice that unifies machine learning application development with machine learning system development operations, ops. So you can use it to automate and standardize processes across ML lifecycle. And yeah, it looks like I'm definitely going to have to watch this video because I'm sure he breaks down this entire graph here. So I have not dug into this whatsoever. That's one thing I have noticed from AWS is they definitely have graphs. Kind of interesting though. Yeah, and I think this is going to be just an increasingly important topic of upskilling to understand how machine learning works and how it can be implemented and so forth. because it's just going to get more and more popular. So it is something that I definitely want to work on. Like I've shared the free course from Free Code Camp before. It's like a 40-hour course all about generative AI and AI in general, how it works, along with some labs with like Hugging Face, I believe. I think Cam was actually working on going through that course, and it's just freely available on YouTube. That was one of the different items on my backlog. What I've actually been working on myself lately is, I'll pull it up here as well. Let's see. So the course that I've been working on this week, if this works. So I've been working through this course this week. So Security, Compliance, and Leadership with Chris Brenton. Chris Brenton is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, and then it sounds like PBO is probably popping in here. Bam, welcome to the party, pal.
What's going on? I just came back from the IC Square local user meeting, so that was interesting.
Bam.
Your favorite
Talk about
AI. We were discussing AI.
Oh, wow. Another discussion on AI. Who could have guessed?
Yeah, it was. He did pretty good. It was for Varonis, I think, but he didn't really talk a lot about the company. We just kind of walked through different parts of AI. So it was interesting.
Bam. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a huge thing. There was something else that I came across that was talking about like upskill requirements and how like by 2030, like 70% of the workforce is going to need to be like familiar on prompting AI and so forth. Something along those lines.
I think it's going to be something. Yeah, I'm going with that. I think. Well, I don't know. I need to think on it a little more because you talked about the one where was 95% of the AI projects failed or something. We were talking about that, wasn't we?
Yeah. So there was a article that was posted in the Discord server about how 95% of AI deployments fail or they don't actually make it to completion and being published out. I feel like that's I don't think it's accurate per se. Like I think that's a really hard thing to measure because so many businesses, like look at a business that's using Google Workspace. They're still using AI. They just don't mark that on the form as AI.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think what they're talking about is big AI projects, right? But I think they're going for the big ROI, and a lot of those are going to fail because they're first movers trying to do things, first move, get all the money type things, and a lot of those are going to fail. So I kind of agree with you on that. And go check out the Discord. Steph okayed me to do a risk assessment on Bit. What the hell was that we were talking about in the Discord?
I don't remember offhand.
Yeah, so it was interesting.
Yeah, PBO even got himself censored earlier.
Yeah, good looking out for me. I know the email will block me. Chris, get me back in there, man. Discord's hating on me. Nah, but it's cool. So yeah, when you see them, you were in there liking a few, talking about the risk in there. And the one we saw, you give your worldwide rights to it. What? Let me look in there. Give your worldwide rights to it, which I thought was crazy. BitSite.
Yeah, that reminded me of Atlassian on what we saw on that.
I think a lot of people was in there. They just don't realize it.
Yeah. Well, and I think, so if you guys are unfamiliar, there was a community member that was trying to vet a third party that they were like their customer requested them to upload their documents to this third party. And so they were trying to do their due diligence and research it. PBO was helping out and posted all kinds of different stuff from their policies in the Discord server of like highlights. And I think like where I drew the line on that is that they say that, they have worldwide, exclusive rights to your data and so forth. But then later on, then it contradicts itself. And like, I think that's really bad practices there. Like
that's normal, to be honest. Cause I think what happens is they keep going, but they don't go back and, like you said, harmonize all the stuff. Like, you can do this and that. Because if you look, I'm looking at probably 6 or 7 big web pages, just kind of going through it and looking at. But Well, no, I agree it's bad, but I think it's common though.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, and then Jasmine says privacy laws in the EU come under GDPR in regards to drone technology.
Facts.
Yeah, there was a case, an article that I read recently where I don't remember which country they were located in, but they fell under the EU, and there was like a Apple car that had drove by to take like photos of the street views, and he was photographed in his own backyard, like over the fence line, and like he sued Apple, I believe it was Apple, for like $120,000 equivalent for that privacy violation because it got published to their maps.
Yeah, Google did the same thing. Google said, "F you, we can write the check. We got $100 million on our side." So they've been finding Google for hell a decade. Dude, Google's like, "Oh yeah, we got the money."
Yeah, and also Jasmine mentions it's going to be a nightmare for privacy professionals, never ending with all of these new technologies. I think that's just how it's always kind of been, though, because like it's hard to keep up with everything that comes out.
Yeah, I think, like he said, I think it's got a little more worse. I won't say but worse. The reason why is we try to outdo it. You got GDPR, then CCPA came out, then Colorado came out, then New York DFS came out with something. So it's like all these. Where's our federal privacy? So I think you got states trying to one each other up. So depending on what state and what type of data you're taking, it's crazy. So I think from that point, that's where the nightmare is. If we have one federal standard, that would help out. I thought CCPA was that because that was kind of the poor man's GDPR, but then New York tried to outdo them.
Yeah. And I think that is what makes it really complicated in the States in particular, is because we have all of these different states doing their own things now.
So yeah, that's
and then I would probably say that a lot of businesses, they work multi-state. So then that really complicates things out.
No,
so
I work for it wasn't quite global, but they had EU, they had Canada, which is PIPA, they had some Brazil, which was something. So we were looking at stuff in Brazil. I'm like, dude, what we doing? So
I was really surprised to see Brazil to have their own privacy stuff, actually.
So Brazil has something different. It was kind of I hate this term, trying to harmonize to pick out the most. I don't know about 1 hour people. I went to the local users group. I usually go. I probably present. They keep asking me to present, so I might present. But I do get out a little bit. Shout out to me. So, but yeah. But no, but two is it's the nightmare, but that's where you make your money at. If you're good at it, right? You can harmonize Canada with Mexico, with Brazil, and Puerto Rico. I work for a company that had some business in Puerto Rico.
I mean, well, and also when you look at especially the privacy side, like I'm definitely drawn to the privacy side of things. And I mean, quite frankly, like all of the different states doing different things is kind of job security, to be honest. Like,
but mastering it is tough, man. Going from New York to Colorado. The cool thing is I use ChatGPT just to kind of get me to where I need to go. Then I can just do the more intricate stuff now. So kind of depend on that a little more.
Yeah. And then also, Jasmine, I'm trying to find that video. I know you dropped it before. I was just scrolling back to see, to find it again. But yeah, that was a really good share that you put in the Discord. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was the GRC discussions channel you dropped it in.
Yeah, I don't think I go in there much. That's what I'm in all the time. that's what I'm in all the time.
Come on, PBO, get your stuff together. Learn Discord already after what, 4 years?
Man, that's a lot going on, man. I'm in a lot of Discords, man. So yeah, I need to look at the legal part of stuff real quick.
Yeah, I'll have to go all the way back on that. You should do. So what I would like to do, I'll go ahead and just say it now on the fact that I'm trying to line up one of the talks for next month to be all about trust centers. So
I was going to do
have the 2nd and the 9th.
Go ahead. I was thinking about doing one on my channel and jump on your channel.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you already have one on trust centers, surprisingly.
I don't have one specifically on trust centers, but I do talk about risk assessments, and that's really the documents you pull out of trust centers. But no, I get what you're saying. My issue with the trust center, and I put it in the Discord, was they can change them anytime. they say they can change them anytime. Okay, so then why the hell am I reviewing it if you can change it anytime? So that's my big part. So if you look at the Discord, one thing I put in there, I'm gonna find it real quick.
Yeah, and also Luke says that he trusts states more than the feds on passing the privacy and so forth. I'm not going to get too into it. What I would say though is that I think that it would be better to have like best practices at a federal level personally.
Facts.
Like just to, put that out there, because there's still a lot of states that don't have anything at all.
Most
yeah, so it just makes this realm really confusing. But he does also mention that Fed standards would probably be watered down to allow cutouts. Yeah.
Oh, facts. So yeah, the one in there says this privacy policy may be amended and or updated from time to time at our sole discretion. Okay, with the update. Okay, so that means you can just change it anything you want. You can change it to something negative to our company.
Yeah, so like in Discord's policies, they state on there that they could update it at any time, but if there's significant changes, that they'll send out notification. Which, yeah.
Okay, so you screw me in, you let me know. Okay.
Well, and I think and they leave it. That was one of my biggest. Like I did that video about the privacy policy and related policies for Discord. Well, one of the big, like they just leave it so vague, but that's also legal, it seems.
Oh, facts. So that's why your legal department got to tighten it up, right? So most of the stuff I put in there were risk to the business, and probably Steph should send that to our legal department.
Yeah.
So, okay. Are you cool with them being the change? Or a lot of times I've seen legal department go, okay, but in the master service agreement, we're putting these policies in with these dates because we don't want you to be able to change them anytime you want. Will you sign off on that? Right. So if you need to change them, we need to amend our master service agreement. I heard lawyers call it memorializing. I hate that term. Basically, you link those particular paragraphs to your master service agreement so they can't change them.
Yeah. Like I like documentation and so forth, but like I don't know. Like I get leaving it vague and so forth, but like it from a consumer, but the point is to protect the business itself, and that's why they leave it vague and use the language that they like. I don't remember exactly. Like I think the Discord privacy policy was about 16 pages. Like that probably took a team like 3 months or something.
No.
Like
the reason I say that is, and which sucks, is their standard language I see in them there every contract. So their paralegals are just cut and pasting and say these are the best for these businesses, and these big companies are using it, so we're going to try to use it.
That actually reminds me, there was a website that I came across. I don't remember it offhand, but the gist of it kind of goes along with what you just said is, so this, I'll try to find it again and drop it in Discord, but it's literally an AI for the legal department. So the legal department would get a subscription to this. It's like some crazy, like $500 a month or something per user. And what it does is it's loaded in with millions of contracts and public documents. And what it does is the AI goes through and scrapes out the clauses that are used. So then you could just go through and search for a topic and then be like, hey, I want to add this to this policy or to this document. And then it'll give you, 10 examples of different clauses that are boilerplate and throw them in there.
Like the one we saw was in, it wasn't a Trello. Was it a Trello? Yeah, where we gave the worldwide rights. Everybody's using it now. It's like, okay, we know if you're not paying attention, we just want your data. You just giving us, we can do whatever. So if you don't go through and read it, you're signing up for it. So that's boilerplate now.
Yeah. Well, and like I think, yeah, like I think that's just like overreaching on, because like the way that Atlassian had put it when we went through it, I believe was like worldwide exclusive, like for
That's
like.
Yeah, that's what
like,
it is. That's what this. I'm gonna go find it. This pretty much says that because
yeah, exactly. It gives them complete rights to do whatever they want with your data, and there's nothing you could do about it, which is like insane, especially with these companies that are spending so much money with their products.
Yeah, but I think
there was a. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say there was a recent conversation in Discord too about like Jira, and like there was another YouTuber who went through talking about their products, because Atlassian just actually bought a browser as well, like an AI browser or something along those lines. And so this other YouTuber made a video about it, and he's like, I've been a developer for like 20 years and I hate using the product, but I have to.
Yeah, and they know it. That's why Oracle pissed a lot of people off. They had the one federal database, and once they figured it out, they jacked the price up. And the one thing they did that really threw me off was you used to go buy Oracle software. Now you got to buy by the core. So if you buy Oracle's database and you add 4 more cores, you got to send them money. I was like, so I upgrade my hardware and I got to send you money. So people start doing it by the core. I was like, that is gangster. That is gangster. People charging by the cores now.
Yeah, and so this is the video I was just mentioning. Jira bought a browser, and so this is the prime time. And I'll drop this link in chat as well. I mean, he's like definitely a software developer. That's mostly what he talks about, but really funny dude, actually. And he makes some pretty good content too. Plus, it's a great video on the topic.
Yeah, Jiro's their number one pretty much in that ticket / automatic build type PM type software. I know a lot of, especially open source guys, love Jira.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever used it like that. I work for bigger companies that we were on the ServiceNow train for all their stuff.
Yeah, and then also AB mentioned earlier on insights on drones inspired me to consider pursuing some work in that space. Powerful stuff. I think drones are going to become more popular. Like there was another mention, I don't know if I brought it up, about like drone laws. Mm-hmm. And so like I do have a Part 107, which is like FAA license. I think that's technically it's a certification from the FAA for drones for commercial purposes. And so like I think it was like 2021 when I went through that, and like Luke's working on that right now as well. And like I think it's really fascinating. You got, in order to actually qualify to pass the exam for that, you got to learn the aeronomical maps and the different airspaces and all of that. Really cool stuff. But like anybody can just go to Amazon and buy a drone. Like I've seen so many people go through.
Big drone.
Yeah, oh yeah, you could go online, and if you have the money, like you could buy a huge drone in, for $7,000 or $8,000 that is more than capable of killing a person.
Oh, easy. I'll tell you, when I first figured out the drone, probably every other year I do a Super Bowl security presentation, and they had a big section. I didn't realize they had a big section on drones, because if a drone flies over stadium, it could drop some. So they take this. Yeah. So they show drones shooting nets, catching other drones that the Department of Homeland Security was using. So that's the first time I really kind of figured out. I was like, oh shit, I never thought about a drone just running into a stadium and crashing into people. So that's when I started kind of digging into drones a little bit from physical security from Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to become just more and more popular. So not only more people utilizing them for various purposes, but also from a threat standpoint. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different use cases. And like Luke has talked before about a lot of those different use cases, not only for like recon, but even weapon delivery systems and war driving and all kinds of different stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's super interesting. Like you said, I almost thought of because Amazon has their drone, so you can do it. Have AI drive your drone from.
Do they have drone delivery?
I put it in a pic. I don't know if it's quite drone delivery, but you can have their AI drive your drone. So I was thinking about trying it. They have
Yeah,
their
that's crazy.
they have their I put it in the back chat. But yeah, I thought that, I'm like, I might try that. So yeah, it's and they got there it is. They actually, is that their service? I think that's their service.
Yeah, I think the drone entire realm is just going to continue to grow, but there has been more and more regulations on it.
Yeah.
One of the big thing, like I haven't really followed it as closely as I should. Like I haven't flown regularly in a while now, but like the airspace is controlled and governed by the FAA. And so like for an example, Aberdeen, South Dakota, that's about a 2-hour drive from me, and they have a local ordinance that states that you're not allowed to take off from public property. You have to take off from private property. And so there's different conflicts like that at the local levels too, which I find interesting. Let's see here. And I'll drop this link in chat too. So PBO just dropped this. I'm going to pull it up on screen too. Let's see here. Somewhere. Okay, here we are. AI workforce using AI and drones to simplify infrastructure inspections. Can I do... Oh, no, I don't think I can. So, like, one of the big reasons... I don't think it'll show you guys, but one of the big reasons why I like Brave is because I can go through and select everything, and then I could use the built-in AI connected to my own local AI to summarize the articles. That's usually like one of the first things I do. Let me pull this back up here. So this is the article that PBO shared. So AI workforce using AI and drones to simplify infrastructure inspections. Yeah, Luke says, don't even get me started on drone laws proposed. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of different use cases for drones, not only as recreational, but from a commercial standpoint. But yeah, it does really complicate things. And yeah, like, yeah, with drones, like you can 100% go in and you can map everything out and have it automatically do a flight. So like you could go into the software and you can click on a map and select waypoints to go in a circle, or otherwise, like out here in North Dakota, agriculture is a massive market, and agriculture is using drones to go through and check with special cameras like infrared and thermal cameras and so forth to locate like areas that are not getting enough water, areas that may have mold in it, or, you know, growth issues and things like that. And that's completely automated at this point. So they literally set it all up, and then it'll just on a regular schedule take off and complete its route, and then upload all of that data to the platform and so forth. Yeah, it's definitely a huge space. It's something that's definitely growing out here that I noticed. So back in like 2022, there was only one company out here that even did anything like that. And now, like, I looked at it a couple months ago, and there's like a dozen different companies that are now specializing in agriculture, drones in particular, and they're doing it as like a service. Yeah, and then Jasmine says that they usually get AI to condense an article into 250-word report and check the references through. So I'll usually ask it, like, I have a prompt that I can just click on that I already developed on it that basically goes through and says to carefully review and research the topics mentioned and extract the key highlights and action items. Just because what I'm looking for is keywords, and I ask it to quote from the article itself because then if something catches my eye and I'm like, oh, I want to learn more about that, then I'll just Control F and search the page for that section. Like if it's more than like a 5-minute read, that's usually what I do.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then Cam is over here just spamming everyone. And then what about this article here, PBO?
If you scroll down, they just talk about how they're using AI to check out their windmills and detect them and figure out what's going on, so people don't have to climb up there. So,
oh yeah.
So they talking about the metrics they use and how they use drones. Scroll down on and they showed you the technology solution overview, kind of what they're doing and what they're using to communicate with the drone, which is their IoT core right there. So they kind of walk through how they do it and what technology they're using from an AI and infrastructure standpoint. So
yeah, that's what I just pulled up here.
Yep,
so
yep.
The drone connects to IoT core and then into an S3 for like media, I'm assuming.
That's the objects. You could put media in there or whatever you put. There's probably media because, like you said, they're probably taking video of it. So they're dropping a video of it in S3.
How would guard duty interact with this?
For me, I think guard duty, they're trying to sift. I guess if any of that is bad video or you video or something that has, I guess, wrong information in it.
Or like maybe location data or something.
No, I think you can get the location from the IoT database. We'll do the location, the IoT core. If you scroll in there, they probably tell you what they're using it for in the articles most of the time. But yeah, guard duty is kind of funny. So if you see the control plane right below it, they talk about different sections. The IoT core, bi-directional communication, allows drone to receive real time. So
while Amazon Guard Duty continuously monitors for abnormalities and potential security threats such as unusual API activity or unauthorized access attempts.
Yeah, somebody trying to hack
the architecture.
Yeah, somebody trying to hack your drone. They showed somebody had a drone. I don't know if it was us. I think it was us. They showed China and Iraq. They tapped into the camera and they were looking at everything we were doing. I could probably Google that to find. So somebody was hacking the video feed. So that's probably protecting the video feed so it doesn't get hacked. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so like my sentiment here is talking about enhanced safety, increased efficiency, cost reduction, and proactive maintenance. And so it's taking all of the video feeds and so forth, and you leveraging AI to review it.
Yeah.
So,
and two, it's like you said, it's a lot easier to do, and you can get way more telemetries.
I think this would be something interesting to actually implement. This would be a pretty cool project.
It would. I thought about it. I'm like, I got so much other stuff to do.
Hey, Luke, we're gonna need you to join us on this project here to figure this out.
Get the IoT on there. So yeah, there's a lot of projects, like you said. A lot of farmers are using it to check everything from growth to wind to soil with infrared cameras. There's a lot of data you can get off a drone where it's a lot, The drones really aren't that expensive. I mean, you can make them as expensive one. I looked at one, they had an article, and the drone that they were using at AWS only cost like $200. And I actually put in a project in ChatGPT. It kind of
Yeah, and like Luke mentions, feel for my neighbor. Dude makes 6 figures climbing up those towers a few times a week. Yeah, I know that they've been using drones for infrastructure for a while now. It looks like AWS is just catching up to, hey, we have products for this now.
AWS behind. They wasn't a leader. There was a lot of people doing it for AWS.
Yeah, because like what I've seen before is where like the people on the ground would just review the footage live. And they would be like, oh, that looks weird. Let's get better imaging of this. Like, is this overheating? Or, are these bolts loose? But yeah.
The weird thing is I was talking to my neighbor. He does airplanes. And the data you get off an airplane now is like, it's going to be like this weather, this many times, this many miles. Let's go ahead and change it. Don't worry about fixing it. It's due to be, just changed out. So I think that's probably going to be the future for some of it.
I think this is pretty neat for infrastructure. Like, yeah. Pretty crazy.
I'll tell you the one I was thinking about implementing. It really just kind of shocked me.
Thin clients?
No, even though I do love thin clients.
Yeah, there's another bookmark for your projects there, Luke. I think that would be really cool to set up just because. Well, and also like if it's going through and leveraging AI, like I assume that's going to be very pricey for AI to go through and review footage.
It's going to be cheap.
Really?
Cheap.
Jeez.
The reason it's cheap is the volume AWS gets from so many customers. S3 bucket is cheap. SageMaker, that's cheap.
But you work with the big boys, BPO.
Yeah, but I think just for the cost of it, and two is you got to think you could use a lot of their if they have too many EC2s or too much infrastructure, you can get it at an 80% discount. Now, if they need it, they're gonna take it back, right? So you can do EC2. What's that term? EC2, and you can just say, okay, we're gonna get it 80% off, but if somebody needs it, they're gonna take it from you. What is that called? So so you can use that on a lot of their products.
Well, and they have like the savings plans and stuff like that too. Like that's actually what I did before is I got like one of the EC2s for like 70% off because I did like a 1 year savings plan with it. So like I got like a small EC2 for like $40 or something for a year.
Oh yeah.
So but yeah, it also makes it a little bit easier too. Especially if you're like deploying infrastructure. I would assume, hopefully most businesses that already have that set up are just leveraging that. So
yeah, but I think it helps people jump in though quick too, right? So if you spot instance, that's what it's called on EC2. You get the spot instance, you get go ahead.
Isn't the issue with the spot instance on AWS is then it can be deactivated? On demand.
Yeah, but what you can do is you can do a spot instance. Then if they take it back, you can go ahead and just spin up a regular instance. So one like you bought, where you had the savings plan, right? Because it gives you like backup 5 or 10 minute warning. Like, okay, they're gonna take it down. I can just spin up my savings plan one, right? So,
and then you would just have that automated.
Yep, you can just have it automated.
That almost sounds like a different form of load balance.
Oh, it is. It is. If you look out there, they tell you have this many spot instances and this many regular instances, depending on the volume of your business. Because they said, okay, this is your standard, but for some reason you get a 20% spike, just grab it with the spot instances.
How is your AWS certs coming along?
They're coming along great. I just have one more to get before
and then that's CISSP.
Yeah, I've been starting to study a little bit on the CISP, getting ready for easing into it. I was like, getting my ports down. Go ahead.
So next week, are you going to be talking about trust centers then?
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it because I was talking about it. Steph was in Discord chopping it up about it. So I was going to do it Thursday at lunch next week. So that's when I was going to do it.
Bam.
Because AWS has their trust center and some stuff. So I was going to go over AWS Trust Center and talk about the stuff I don't like about Trust Center. Go ahead.
So are you saying that you're going to be streaming twice next week?
Yeah, but I said that this week too. So we'll see. I say that every week. I got busy. But yeah, so I want to do my Tuesday 7, then I was going to go Thursday at lunch. My lunch and learn for risk assessments. So
and it looks like you've been talking a little bit about AI recently too.
Yeah.
Seems like AI is everywhere.
Yeah, AI is it. I'm starting doing a little AWS Bedrock, their AI. So then you kind of pick which AI you want to use inside of Bedrock, that being Grok, and they give you the infrastructure to help train it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been kind of doing.
Yeah, I find it kind of interesting because it seems like more and more businesses are like starting to come around to the AI aspect,
You got
whether
to.
it be in project management or Copilot or whatever.
There's just so much out of it, and now if you're not doing AI, you think your business is behind. Even if you're
Yeah.
doing rocks or whatever it is, so like, oh, you still need to do AI and rocks. We move gravel. Let's get AI in there.
Yeah.
It's where
Well,
I
and
talk about our routes or
I've,
something.
I've heard like so many people complain about like everything is AI these days, and
Facts.
it does get like annoying because like one of the last conventions I went to, like probably out of 30 different talks, I think 10 of them, so like a third of them were AI based.
Mhm.
Like, but I think that's also because it's such a big space now. There's been so much money that's been thrown
Oh,
into it,
facts. Yeah.
and it's just that important at this point.
We got
So
AI in the refrigerator now, man.
oh god, they literally do though.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
crazy part about it.
It is crazy. Yeah, like there's smart fridges that will leverage AI, machine learning, in order to understand your shopping habits and things like that. Now, there was a like family project board, so it's like a smart TV. Like, have you ever seen like the Google Nest
Mhm.
before? So it's kind of like that, and what it's made to do is you like hang it up on the wall as like a calendar, but it's like a digital frame,
Mhm.
and it's an actual calendar app for the whole family, so you can go through and organize everybody's schedules, and it's kind of neat. I personally wouldn't use it just because like everything's synced to their cloud platform and so forth. Like, not really my suit.
Yeah, it's not.
But then of course they leverage AI in there too to organize everything, and you could be like, oh, I have to. If you're on the phone with somebody, you can like click on it and be like, find a time for me, kind of thing.
Yeah. Because I always did one on Nest that the good and the bad is okay, you're on vacation, I hack your Nest and I cut your heat on high. Either your heating bill is gonna be high or your house gonna catch on fire. Just pick one. Right? So if I ever hack your Nest, right? So
Yeah. Then what's this other link that you shared here?
it shows automation of port. We talked about ports.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so I actually thought about trying to do that in a miniature scale because they talk about the ships being automated, the actual semis look like toys, they're automated. When I saw that, I was really shocked. So I thought about maybe trying to do that in a similar to a drone, just on land type thing, because all that's automated, and a lot of times that's AI. The AI makes sure the trucks don't run into each other or the ships don't run into each other. So all that delivery is done by a
Didn't
lot.
you make a video
I
about
did.
that?
I did.
Yeah.
So
Why didn't you share that one, PBO? Come on.
I didn't even think about it till you said when you got 800, it's kind of hard to find them sometimes. I got to go back
That
and
is
check.
actually the hardest part with your content, is
Yeah,
trying to find the videos.
I need to go back through and tighten up my SEO on some of that stuff too. So
I mean, hey, 2 years ago you posted a video. Artificial intelligence could replace 30% of the work hours by 2030.
facts. They
That was
talk
2
about
years
that.
ago.
I know I'm so ahead of my time, man. Shout out to me. I just like you said, I like just reporting them stuff. I need to do
Oh,
more
here
though.
we are.
So
Yeah, so here's I'm gonna drop this link too. So this is PBO's video. It's 40 minutes long.
ooh, that's
Which is
short for me.
surprising.
Yeah, I'm short
Yeah.
for me. I got to
Yeah,
tighten it
port
up.
strike automation is the key future for cybersecurity and compliance.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me. I didn't know ports were that automated. When I saw that, I was like, oh wow.
Oh, it only 20% of the workforce? I mean, I think those numbers are low.
I think that was low. But you got to remember, Luke, that was 2 years ago, man. I was ahead of my time. We bumping the numbers up. Man. We bumping the numbers up. That's 2 years ago, man. We bumping the numbers up. We
Yeah,
taking all the entry level out. You on mute, Chris, or I'm on mute.
Why would you go off and mute me like that, PBO? What the hell?
I don't have that type of power. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's not a me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Like AWS doing the drone stuff now. That's going to make things a lot easier. That also adds some automation there too. But yeah. it's an interesting world we live in. And then we also talked a little bit about like the 53 updates. Are you able to answer that question though? Like I'm legitimately curious why. So they pushed out the R5 for the 53, and then they've done 2 minor updates since, including adding a control. Why do they not add that into the primary document? Why don't they push a update to the primary document?
I think, like we talked about, even though they made that as an amendment, I think they want people to review it before they actually put it into a major document. Because they always like, here's the amendment. Then I think they want people to review it, chime in on it, right? What's the term? They let people send stuff in. I can't think of that.
Yeah, to comment on it.
Yeah. So I think that's the reason why I think they let you comment on it. Because if they put something out in the main and you don't like it, right? So I think they do the amendments and they last. Shout out to this. They last for a couple of years. Then they put it into a R5 B2 or something. But no, that's the reason they do. Oh, they give you time to comments. They send it out for comments. So I think if you look at the amendments, usually they send them out for comments in case somebody doesn't like them or somebody comes back with a good retort on it. But so I think that's the reason why. Because if you look at their old amendments, after a while they do get moved into the main one, but it takes forever. Shout out to the government though; they're very methodical when they do that. But I think that's the reason why they do the amendment and let people comment on it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I was thinking because they provide the supplemental material, which has the spreadsheet of all the updates, and then what it looks like is they expect you to take those supplemental materials from the spreadsheet and then put that into the primary document.
Yeah, and for people like me, I like the supplements because when I go through my SSP, they say this is the old and this is new, so you just cut and paste it in there. Or if it's in the main document, you're trying to kind of figure it out. They say these are the changes, these are the updates. They put them in different colors usually, so they make it pretty easy to update because people's SSPs are like 1,100 pages, so they kind of make it look. Because we were talking about actually using Grok to actually go through the Excel and the Word documents and update it for us with those MCP servers. So that's what some things we were talking about.
Yeah, I find it kind of interesting. I think it's really awesome that they're doing updates to it. Like there are some grammar issues, spelling problems. But they even added a control. Like when I was looking back at its history, that it doesn't seem like they did minor updates in the past very often.
I think but if you go back once again, I think they move them into the main and they get rid of them. If you go out there, I think if you'll see revision histories on some of that.
Yeah.
Because I know R4, they did it a couple of times. We're like, oh, we think this is better, or
I think
we had this
out for like 7 years.
Oh my God, I thought it was 10. It was out. But the cool thing I like about it though, as an old SME, once you get it the first couple of years, it don't change very much. And even 4 to 5 is not huge. There was like 2 or 3 big updates to families, but if you know 4, you can roll right into 5. I mean, because remember we were looking at that because they got rid of they changed it to vestibule. What was it before that? You were like,
man trap.
Yeah, you were like, man trap's not in there. I was like, yeah, it is. Oh, they changed it to vestibule. So
Yeah, and that was like one of the different updates to because I took the Sec Plus 601 and it said man traps, and then in the 701 they updated that to vestibule.
Yeah.
But
we found an amendment. Yeah, but we found an amendment where they put that change in there. But I think those are kind of stuff which I think we should have left it as a man trap. But those are kind of changes they're making.
Yeah, there's actually been quite a few. Like in this, like I think the 701 is a really good example because then you can go to the NIST glossary and search those terms. Because like the Sec Plus, they put out a document of like I think like 15 or 20 different words that were modified, and you can go straight to the NIST glossary and search those and see that NIST also made those changes too.
That's
the problem with NIST is that it takes time to go through and update. Hundreds of documents.
It is, and that's really a hidden gem. I don't think a lot of people realize is the glossary because it took me forever to figure out what people were saying. Just the terminology. It took me seriously 3 months to kind of even get. And I was in the industry for a decade, and their whole terminology was just different in the private sector.
I mean, that's like my number one resource is the NIST glossary.
Yeah, NIST glossary is a hidden gem.
Yeah, because you could search by terms or keywords and so forth, and it's really useful. And also one reason why I really like the glossary, like I'm going to pull it up too, just to give everybody a visual here. And I'll drop the direct link in chat, but the NIST glossary, you could just search for a term like risk, and then we could go to risk assessment. And so then it gives us a definition for risk assessment, but then it gives us the documents that mention it.
Yeah.
So then we could look at those and be like, oh, this document is about, risk identification, analysis, and evaluation. Let's check 160.
Yeah, my only issue, me and Chris kind of talks about this, and I think he's catching on, is if that document's more than 10 years old, I'm not touching it. So those documents, even though it's kind of relevant, but if it's 10 years old, I'm not touching it. What is that one? I think that's
22.
I was gonna say the risk stuff they've been on top of, but there's some older documents. It's like, dude, at least update a few of the words, man. Them doctors be decades.
Hey, they're going through funding cuts, PBO. Give them some time.
But before the funding cuts, because what's 34, 37, and 30 is like 10 years old.
Yeah. Oh, wow. 812 is a personal favorite. And that one's 2017.
So
it's coming up there.
So that's my thing but two is they do got thousands of documents to update. So but for me, the RMF risk stuff is fundamentals. They should always get touched at least every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. So 839, managing information security risk. This was last updated in March of 2011.
Come on, man. I ain't using that document, man. I'm blocking it. And
I don't think they have like amendments to the 39 at least.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, but this is where I really see like the NIST glossary really being a huge advantage, like from a research perspective and just learning the topics and so forth. And then also like when PBO's chattering on for 2 hours on his live stream and I'm just trying to type up words on what the hell does this mean?
I get a lot of it, but if you put in the chat, what does that mean? PBO go over. Usually I try to make sure I have a summary of it if it's something kind of big or something. Because I was talking STIGs and somebody said, what is a STIG? I was like, hold tight, it's coming up. So we just kind of walked through the whole STIG process.
Yeah, and check that out. David B popping in at his 4 times speed to catch up.
Check out, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Google Scholar is a good resource for research too. Yeah, I've utilized that before. And then also there's another member in the community that leverages Perplexity. So like I personally don't really use Perplexity just because like I have other AI tools already. But from a research perspective, I think Perplexity is a very good option.
I didn't like the CEO. He was in an interview. Yeah. He said something I didn't like. I was like, he said something. Oh, yeah. He was on Diary of the CEO. It was a very interesting podcast. And he said something.
Worldwide exclusive rights.
It was pretty idiotic. Long story short, they had a sociologist on it, and they were talking about. He said, why is AI different than the loom? That's what took people that made rugs out. And he was serious. And the guy looked at him and said, the breadth of speed of everything. You're going to take every industry out at the same time. And he looked like that never crossed his mind. He looked like he's like, oh, I never thought about that. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be a genius, and you didn't think about just taking out half the population's work. So I was like, dude.
Yeah, like one of my biggest struggles with the whole AI market is like I go around and rotate between different models all the time, but it's very frustrating because each platform is better at different things.
Facts.
And it really sucks because there's not really a all-in-one product that does it all. Like Perplexity is really great for research, but if I'm already paying for Gemini, then I could just use their deep research, and it, I still get similar result.
As an old person, you don't remember this. The first tool that took care of Word, Excel, that was WordPerfect, Quattro Pro. Then after it got to a certain level, Microsoft says, okay, we understand all this. We're going to make it one product and take everybody out. We're not at that level. So you got the Grok, right? Is the Word. Then the Quattro. I'm trying to think what was the spreadsheet. There was like 4 different products. And Microsoft, when it first came out, it sucked, right? Each one of them sucked. But then after the years, Microsoft kept making them better. That's gonna happen with the AI. We just ain't there
Yeah,
yet.
that's a really good mention. Yeah, because like
No,
the
shout out to
AI,
me.
like I was also surprised to recall on like one of the videos I was watching was talking about the history of AI, and like ChatGPT was the first one that went public for like a platform for a chatbot, and that was like the end of 2022. Like it seems like it was forever ago, but it wasn't.
Oh, no, but
So early.
there were a lot of AIs before then. They just specialized.
Yeah.
OpenAI just kind of figured out we're behind. Let's just feed it the whole internet. Nobody ever thought about it because nobody ever had enough chips to try to do that. So they bought what 20,000 chips, NVIDIA chips. It was some crazy amount of chips they bought to be able to do that. Because then that's when they had to go to Microsoft and like, yeah, y'all want to invest? We don't have enough power or money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to think about, but yeah, I mean, that's a really great point as far as like the competition aspect goes.
Shout out to me. I do great points.
Yeah, because like for an example, like I've mentioned Gamma before, and so like Gamma is a tool that I use for presentations, and so I can go through and prompt it, and then it saves me tons of time because it preps all of the slide deck for me, and the theme comes out identical each time, so it just makes it so much quicker.
It'd be there. You probably 5 years ahead of your time. In 5 years, it'll be something that Microsoft will have all the money, Oracle or OpenAI, one of them, and they'll stitch them all together.
What's going to happen.
Yeah, it always does.
Well,
It always
well,
does.
and like you can already see like the big players like OpenAI and Microsoft and Google, they're all competing, and what they're doing. Like I noticed like Google Slides, they've now started getting the AI implemented into that tool now. And so they're mimicking like what Gamma does. Like Gamma, I think it's like one of like maybe 5 options right now, but it's the best one. And they got a huge influx. I don't remember how much they got for investor funding, but they got a large sum. And then like 2 months later, Google starts pushing tons of AI into their slides.
Yeah.
Like,
but two is it's like if we can't make ours better, they got infinite money, man. Like shout out to what's it, Snapchat? Oh yeah, Snapchat. Facebook offered him $800 million in college. They turned it down. Who's gonna turn down $800 million? That's $1 billion. They turned it down. But he bought Instagram for $700 million. So they got infinite money. They're just gonna buy it all up and stitch it together after a while. Yeah, we just buy it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, we're so early in the game still for it, so that makes sense. Yeah, like David also mentions Diary of a CEO.
Yeah,
I never even heard of it before.
Oh yeah, it's good. He did. The guy was on there, and he looked. I was like, dude, you a genius, but you dumb as hell. But no, they had some very interesting AI things in there that was scary. That was super scary.
David, so 120 words or less, Chris GPT, what's the deal with Anthropic and Microsoft? What happened to AI? Are they both doing business with them? I don't quite understand what you mean. Like Anthropic, like I tried Claude. Like the platform itself, I think is probably one of the worst out of the different platforms because their limits are so restricted. Anthropic is really more for their commercial products. So for the developers that are using API, get top demand priority.
Fact.
And so then as a paid user on the platform, like you could only send like 3 requests or some crazy low number in a 24-hour period. It is very restricted. Like with Grok or ChatGPT or Gemini, like I rarely get timed out, but with Anthropic, like not even 3 or 4 messages in and it's already timing me out for 24 hours. But they do seem to be partnering with a lot of third parties because they want to, I feel like they want to be that type of business.
Well, I think they put it in there so they wouldn't be restricted. I think Microsoft was trying to lock them into their platform so they can learn, right? So that's one reason they basically sell them cheaper hardware, cheaper resources so they can actually learn because they're actually taxing their infrastructure. That's why Microsoft bought 3 Mile Island. I'm still tripping. We really still have nuclear power, man. I still haven't wrapped my head around it because we don't have enough power for AI. Because we built
Yeah,
a data center in Indiana, and we're going nuts. People are trying to block it and everything.
Yeah, and Luke mentions that Microsoft is doing business with Anthropic.
Fact.
Like I've noticed Anthropic is partnering with a lot of bigger companies, and I think that's the way that they want to go. I think that they have a user base on their platform just as like an initial start, but that doesn't seem to really be their focus. They're more focused on getting these large companies to be a vendor to them. It seems to be what I see.
They don't want to be locked in.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, it's more profitable. Like a lot of these companies, they cater to these corporations more than the everyday Joe.
Facts.
Cam says Claude seems awesome for enterprise, but I'm on the same page. I don't like its ROI. Yeah, on the individual level, but even if you look at the their API for developers and products is like really awesome. And I think as an AI, I think it's pretty good. It's really good at writing, and it's well known for coding. But like I've used some of the coding products before. I forget the name of the main one that I used. But it's one of the big ones for coding. And I was getting better responses from Gemini 2.5 Pro compared to Claude on angelic mode. So I think it really just depends on the person too. But yeah, like I was not impressed by the platform that Anthropic has personally.
We need you to.
And I was honestly kind of upset at like how restricted it was.
Don't hate.
Yeah. But then you can go through and go to like Perplexity for an example and get access to Claude and have 50 messages a day or something crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna look at that because the CEO of the Diary, the CEO, he said he used it to create a pizza buying app just to see if he could. So
yeah, and Luke says that they also got a DoD deal. So also like if you guys are even considering at looking at like Claude, Anthropic, like I would also look into it because Claude is also known to be the most restricted AI. And one of the interesting things is like probably about 6 months ago, there was news coverage on it on the fact that Claude has safety guardrails set up. So if you ask particular questions that are concerning to them, it will automatically alert real humans to that and even send emails and so forth, like report you as a person.
Oh, wow. Stop snitching.
Yeah. So it's like one of the most restrictive AIs that are out there. They've done a great job as far as guardrails go, but yeah, it's pretty restrictive. Yeah. And then David's talking about how they kind of like spun off of OpenAI because they were worried about the way the CEO and some other partners were trying to push it.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the safest AI because of the guardrails, but there's a lot of like privacy concerns, I would say.
I think I'm done with that.
Yeah, I can find that as well and throw it into the Discord. As far as like the safety conscious, I think that is definitely the brand that they've built for Anthropic, in my opinion. But yeah, they've done some, like I would say, even crazier things than like even OpenAI has done.
Yeah, I haven't been following that as much.
It's hard to keep up with all of it. Yeah, and Jasmine mentions Microsoft and Salesforce admitted that they're having difficulty selling their AI software. I think one of the biggest difficulties is training people. Like that's not cheap or free, and like a lot of people get in the mindset of like, oh, I've been doing it this way forever. Like why? Like that's like even for me, like I use AI all the time, but it's mostly like in replacement of like Google search or to dig more into a topic or something like that. Like, it seems like they're really trying to push like angelic, like, oh, I can send an email for you, or you could just tell me to call or message somebody about something. I could automate your task lists or whatever the hell. And it seems like there's a lot of pushback on that type of stuff.
No, like you said, it's people haven't quite adjusted to that level of, like you said, AI, especially AI agents yet. But a lot of people say AI agents is the future.
I think one of the best examples is that one platform that's developed the AI agents for SOC Level 1. Literally for a SOC center, and what you do is you just connect it into your SIM. It looks at all of the logs coming in, and then it goes through an alert and weeds out false positives and so forth. And then it can even take automated actions like for a DDoS attack or unauthorized access. So I think that's one of the best examples of like more agentic behavior. But I mean, also look back at that, like on our last stream, we talked about that Chinese AI for the doctors, and it was like an 83% accuracy or something.
That's
like,
true.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if I would really want a SOC Level 1 going through and doing automated measures. Like reviewing logs is one thing, that's bad enough. But like having it deactivate accounts or block IP addresses and stuff like that automated.
I would be fine with it, but I get what you're saying.
Really, PBO?
Think about it. Okay. We block a port. Somebody puts a ticket in and we open it up. Then we flag it that it's a good port and they would never do it again. I mean,
what? But like the business could lose money off of that. How much could a corporation lose if an entire port gets closed?
Well, I think, but part of that from a security, we need to map out the most important parts. When you do your risk assessment and you're saying the most important thing is your YouTube channel, these are the ports that are used by YouTube. So they should already be flagged that they can never be shut down, right? When we do our
like
threat
modeling, give it
like
what its focus is.
Yeah, for threat modeling. So there should be a certain set or certain blockers like you can never close these. Yeah. Right. Even if we get DDoS, we need a human. But then if somebody's some crazy 16,000 port 298 is attacking us, shut that on down. If it's something minor, we'd be okay. But I think it goes hands in hand. But I get what you're saying. But once again, we should be doing a lot of due diligence up front to assist AI. We're not letting it take over, right? AI is really added value to us, not the other way around. So
yeah, and I haven't looked into it recently. Like I would hope by now that they have it set up to where you could restrict it to where like, hey, you're allowed to do this, this, and this type of behavior. Yeah. So yeah, it would be interesting to actually talk to somebody who
I did it. I did it in a lab. I haven't done it in real life, but yeah, we was doing it in a lab. So so when you get a DDoS attack, it sees what ports, then you go out to your NACL inside AWS and just puts a bar. And two is you could do it like this. There was a DDoS attack. We just want to shut it down for 5 or 6 hours. Then the attackers will go away. Then we can just reopen it back up.
Yeah.
So there's a different way. It doesn't have to be permanent, right? So there's a couple ways to do it.
Yeah, and we are coming up to this 2-hour mark too, so we'll probably bring this to an end. But we also do have our Friday AMA tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. Also, don't forget about the Coffee Mafia. I'm going to put that in chat again as well. So 100% no cost. We don't want anything in exchange. You could just go on there, select what time works best for you, and I'll automatically assign you to one of the different 8 volunteers that we have for that. Also, catch us in Discord outside of our live streams. And next week is our job readiness and group resume review. The best, if you'd like your resume reviewed, the best way to do that is to go to our website, and then at the very bottom is our contact form. You can upload your redacted resume there. So you take out your name, your email, your phone number, identifying information, so that way we could live stream it here on YouTube and do group resume review for that for next week. But yeah, did you have any final remarks there, PBO?
No, we'll see you tomorrow. Keep grinding. Don't get discouraged. This too shall pass, and we'll be in Discord if you need us. That's about it. I put the AWS how to automatically block low flood volume attacks. So they walk you through how to set that up. So I actually did that in the lab. So
bam.
You can have it automatically block, or like Chris said, you can put ports in there that says when you check if it's one of these ports, you can never block it, or this port range. So there's a number of things you can do. You can put that port range in a DynamoDB table, and as it goes, before it blocks, it checks to see if it's one of the privileged ports and not to block. So once again, so that's been out there for a minute. So
yeah. Thank you guys for all attending, dropping all of the questions and discussions in chat. Catch you guys in Discord, and thanks for popping up here too, PBO. GRC Mafia. Catch you guys tomorrow.